looks like we're deep into winter, but we're going to do a deep dive into Frankfort and looking for some property that gives you a little bit of room to stretch your legs. So if you're looking for something maybe not right in town, but you'd like at least a half an acre, we're going to look at a property that has a couple acres. Then we're going to look at a really nice property that has over 20 acres. So stick with us. We're going to get to it right now. We have looked at properties and done some tours in Lexington, and now we're going to do some tours on some properties in Frankfort. We are actually looking at properties that have over half acre. So we wanted to kind of change things up, get out of the neighborhoods, and let's see what you can get if you're looking for just a little bit more property. We're also going to be looking at some really interesting amenities and things to do. We have a Canoe, Kentucky here. We're going to look at things at the state capitol. We're going to look at a golf course. So if you're interested in maybe getting out of the big city and looking at more rural lifestyle, this video is going to be for you. So stick with us. We're going to jump into my computer. We're going to get to it. Now, we've jumped here into my computer and we are going to take a really quick overview look of exactly where we are and what areas we're going to check out today. So typically we look at this Lexington area. So let's just take a look at where we are in Lexington, and we are going to just travel west on I-64, just a little northwest of I-64, and that's going to bring us over here to Frankfort. Now we're going to look at several properties here in the Frankfort area, but before we did that, I wanted to show you some fun things that families like to do and enjoy here in the Frankfort area. So first thing we want to look at is this restaurant down here right in the Main Street area. Now it's called Goodwood. It's actually right on the river. Let's look at some of the things. I wanted to show you the river view. Of course, they do pub style food. They have lots of salads, burgers, fries, tater tots, and they've got the garage doors that they open up. Let's get down here. I wanted to show you this view. So when you sit out on the patio, you literally are sitting right on the river, and you can see boats going up and down the river. Of course, depending on what time of year it is. People love to go downtown to Goodwood. So that's one of the really nice restaurants that I wanted to show you into downtown. How the Kentucky River actually divides Frankfort into east and west, depending on what area you are in Lexington. So now we're going to look at the Kentucky River. And you can see it here on my map and how it runs. Really just divides Frankfort into East Frankfort and West Frankfort. People know that you either live on the east side of town or the west side of town, unless you live downtown. And you can kind of see how right in downtown it makes this bow, and things are right in this area. So we're going to look at a few things down here in the downtown area before we actually get to our properties that we wanted to look at. Another restaurant I wanted to show you is this Buddy's restaurant. It is built in an old, used to be hotel, and you can see it here. It's a pizza place, and they have a really, really good pizza. People like to walk here on Broadway, and there's lots of different shops down in the area, but they have really good homemade pizzas. They actually have lunch specials that they do here. You can see they do have some outdoor dining. Pictures of their pizza, good hometown, not your chain pizza places. So if you're in Frankfort and you want to try out some pizza, this is a good place to try. All right, let's get back to our map. Now, lots of people come to Frankfort for Buffalo Trace. So if you've heard anything about the bourbon industry, it's kind of just exploded in the last 4 or 5 years. I used to go down to Buffalo Trace. I'm not really a big bourbon person, but in 2017, 2018, all in that time frame, I'd love to go down there. And on July the 4th, they always had a race down there, and it'd be Chase the Buffalo. I'm not a big runner, but I always like to participate in that. It was a 5K run, pretty flat, just beautiful. All the property that's behind Buffalo Trace that they own, it actually backs right up to the river. And when they do the tours, they love to tell you that it's named Buffalo Trace because that is actually where the buffalo actually crossed the Kentucky River. You can see all these bourbon barrels. If you've never done the tour, it's just a really fun, lots of history about bourbon and how it's contributed to the culture and the economic development, really, of Frankfort and all of Kentucky. Now, this is where they store lots of the bourbon barrels in here. Of course, they've got them now all over Frankfort and different areas here in central Kentucky, but just a very iconic photo there of the buffalo there on the tower. So if you've never tried that, getting into the whole bourbon tour, lots of people love to go down to Buffalo Trace to try the different tastings that they have. You never know what they're going to have on display each day. They don't advertise them, so you really have to make sure that you get down there, and you just have to be lucky to get it on the day if there's something specific that you want. Now let's zoom in here a little bit. Of course, Kentucky, Frankfort is home of it's the capital city of Kentucky, and it seems like they're always doing construction down here. Here's some photos of the inside of the Capitol. It is really just a beautiful place. Some of these paintings on the wall here, just beautiful. This is standing on the front part of the Capitol looking down Capitol Avenue. Now these green spaces as you get down here closer to the road, right in here is Capitol Avenue that leads you right down to the bridge, but they decorate that so beautifully all throughout the year. This is inside the chambers, the stairs, going to another picture in the chambers. So this is a picture of the governor's mansion, and this is the Capitol Annex, which is the building behind it. The state capitol, just a beautiful building. Lots of people come into Frankfort to see the Capitol just for different tours. Now I want to get into the houses that we're going to look at today, because what we wanted to see is there's lots of people that call and they want to know, do you have a property that's half acre? Do you have property that's 2 or 3 acres? Maybe you want 20 acres or more. So we're going to look at those type properties today. And the first one we're going to look at is, you'll see it over here on the map. It is really close to I-64 on the west side of Frankfort. This is our downtown area here. Then this is right out here on, this is I-64 that takes you on over here to Louisville. So our next little town will be Shelbyville. Past Shelbyville, we get into Louisville. So from this property, it's probably about a 40-minute drive into Louisville. So let's take a look at it. Now, I've actually got it pulled up on the map over here. Let's take a quick look at it. Now, it's about 3,600 square feet, and it's priced at $415,000. Now, it has like a cabin vibe to it. So if you're really interested in maybe country living, but you don't want all the property that goes along with it, let's see again how big this is. This is just under an acre at 0.87. So let's take a look at some of these photos. Just really in a quiet neighborhood. It's called Huntington Woods. Most all of the properties there are at least half an acre. Most of them are more than that. But you can see the inside of it is really like a cabin feel. Hardwood floors. There's your kitchen. Really, it doesn't seem to need any updates. If you like wood trim, your baseboards and your crown molding in wood tones and not painted, then this would be the property for you. So it does have lots of space. Here's your primary bathroom. Check out that soaking tub. We'll see if we can get over here to see some of the outdoor photos. It does have a 1-car garage. It's got an above ground pool. So just a really large neighborhood lot. So if that's something that you think would be great for you, you really want to get out of town. Like I said, from Lexington, you would take I-64 here over to Lexington, get on I-75, and you could basically be anywhere in Lexington, in about 45 minutes. So now let's check out the next property that I wanted to show you is also on the west side of town. You'll be able to see it down here to our south. Now this is 127 that runs south out of Frankfort, and this property, it's really just come on the market. So let's take a look at it. It is about 1,620 square feet on the main level, and then it has another 780 in the basement. So it gives you a total of about 2,400 square feet. It's priced also at $415,000, and it's a little bit bigger lot, so it's an acre and a half. Very traditional home. It's just a nice large property. Like I said, on an acre and a half. Now in Franklin County, if you're not in a neighborhood, you've got to have at least an acre and a half to be able to build a house due to the rules for having a septic tank. So right here you can see really the boundaries of the property. So your property does go back behind your house quite a ways. It's really nice, and you see that there's just farmland behind it. Nice open floor plan. Really pretty hardwood floors. Nice eating kitchen, one of the bathrooms. Has the tray ceilings in the primary bedroom. Has a nice soaker tub. Looks like it had jets. We'll just zoom past some of these pictures of bedroom. It's pictures of outside. Let's see if we can get down here and see maybe we can get some pictures of the garage. That's a storage in the basement. Looks like it was a poured concrete foundation, so that's nice. Look at your pretty nice covered patio. What a view. Don't have to worry about neighbors being right near you. Really have room to stretch out. If you wanted to have an in-ground pool or, any type of thing that you would want to have in your backyard for your kids, you could really just make this an oasis. It does have a little shed in the back. You could keep your mower, maybe a tractor back there. What do you think about that property in comparison to the first property? So you've got maybe a half an acre, a little more than half an acre more than the first one. Very different style home. So that gives you and they're priced really at the same price. So what do you think about that? Leave a comment below and let us know of those two houses, which one would really appeal more to you.
Hi, my name is Lisa Prather with Century 21 Simpson & Associates. We get calls and emails all the time from people like you looking to make the move into Lexington, Frankfort, Georgetown, all over Central Kentucky. So whether you're looking to move next month or 9 months from now, give us a call, send us a text or an email. We'll be happy to help you make the move into Lexington. If this is your first time to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about all the market changes here in the Lexington area.
Now before we go to our last home, I wanted to take you up here and wanted to show you this Juniper Hills golf course. Let's see if I can find it here on the tabs. Now, Juniper Hills is located here on the west side of town, just like these two properties are considered to be on the west side of town. We'll just look through some really quick photos so give you an idea. If you're a golfer, of course, it's also showing the aquatic center that's been built there. All my grands love to go to the aquatic center where we like to spend time on the lazy river, but it's just really a nice park here at Juniper Hills. It's very well maintained. I wish, that's one of the cons to Frankfort is really this is the only really nice aquatic park that has a pool in Frankfort. And for the size of our, the city here, it's really a shame. I was trying to see if there were any more pictures of actually the golf course. There you go. So that lets you know that we do have a really nice golf course here. Of course, when we look outside today and everything's snow covered, it's really nice to see this greenery. So you can see it is right here on the western side of Franklin County. Now, another place that I wanted to take a look at before we go is Canoe, Kentucky. Now, have you ever canoed or do your children like to canoe? It's really just such a fun activity to do here in Franklin County. Let's see if we can look at some photos. Now, we have canoeing. They actually will do tours and canoes on the river, or they actually do them here on the Elkhorn Creek. Now, sometimes the creek gets really too high, and so you have to be mindful of that. A lot of people like to try the rapids on the creek when it's high, and you can see this picture here. They do some little training classes at some of the boating events that they have in Lexington. I think that's coming up maybe in February, that boating event. Now check this picture out. Now this is actually on the river, and you can see this big building here is the Artillery Museum, and you can go in there and take a tour of that. Let's see if we see any more pictures here on the river. But the canoeing is really just such a fun activity, and I mean there are some diehard canoe people. I mean, in weather like we have today where the temperature is below freezing, they'll have on their wetsuits and they'll be ready to go. So canoeing, that's a really fun thing to do here on the creek or, over on the river. Let's get over to the last place that I wanted to look at, and that's here over on the northeastern side of Franklin County over here on Lucas Lane. So I want to take you over here and show you this really nice property. Let's get over here to my MLS. And now this property has just recently been reduced, and it is $925,000, but it's a 5,600 square feet property. It was built in 2002. It has 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and 21.5 acres. So, I mean, if you're looking for just your dream property, this property would be it. So I want to just go through a couple of the pictures to kind of give you an idea of just how beautiful it is. Let's see if we can look here. Has some really farm inspired design, beautiful brick fireplace. Just a large eating kitchen. Beautiful hardwood floors. We're not going to go through all of these pictures. Let's see if we can get over here and take some from the outside, because really that's what people want to see, is these outside pictures. Here's a picture of the back. Beautiful in the fall. It's got a nice 2-car detached garage. Now it borders on, I think it's about a 20-acre lake there that the residents around the lake have use of it. A stunning view. So whether you wanted to, maybe have a couple horses, or you just wanted a place to have your own that you don't have anybody real close to you, this would be the property for you. A beautiful, very traditional brick home. Now what about that view? So there's your long driveway. You see at the corner here where it does join right here to the lake. There's your long driveway. Very iconic. You see these in some movies. Just a really, really beautiful property. And again, this home was just reduced not too long ago. It's been on the market about 70 days. If you're looking for a property that is just ready to go, this would be the property for you. Now let's see if there's anything else that I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, I told you about, let's see. Now, there is a really nice restaurant in downtown Frankfort, right on Broadway, just really across from Buddy's, and it's called Serafini's. If you have an anniversary, or it's just a really nice place to sit. The history, it's right across the street from the old Capitol, which if you do any kind of history review of that, one of the governors in the 1800s, Governor Goebel, was actually shot there. So they have some tours to show people some of these historical places. But Serafini's just a really nice place to go and have dinner, get reservations, maybe some of the food there. Here you can see it. It's this building here on the corner. Just a really neat historical building. Got a bar there if you want to just, go there, maybe meet some friends, have a drink, sit at the bar. Just a nice experience. They do have tables that they have outside during the warm seasons. People like to sit out there in the summer. So Serafini's, just a really nice upscale restaurant in the downtown Frankfort area. So hopefully that has given you some idea of all the different things in this Frankfort area. Kind of give you a look. What we didn't speak about were the school systems here. Now, not everybody is keen on the schools. I looked up Western Hills. 2 of the houses were in the Western Hills School District, and niche.com gave it a B-, as you can see. Now, something else I wanted to look at was probably I think it's within the next year, Frankfort is getting a new development. Now, we're getting a Target here. Let's see if I can show you a screenshot of that. So here is the screenshot of what it's going to be. Now this is going to be right on the I-64 corridor there as you come into Frankfort off of 127 on this west side of town. And as you can see, Target has already committed. We've got some type of a tire center. We've got several restaurants. Now I heard that the restaurants were going to be like Texas Roadhouse, Cane's, let's see, Panda Express, and I heard about an Olive Garden. There are a few others, but I'm not real sure if that's, you hear a lot of hearsay, so I'm not sure if those are what we're going to get or not. This development is supposed to bring in almost 1,100 employees, some more jobs into Frankfort. So we're going to be looking at some more housing that's coming into the Frankfort area, and we're going to do some videos maybe later in the spring about where those are going to be. So this is going to wrap up our tour of Frankfort and maybe some of the properties that you maybe could be interested in looking at in this Frankfort area. If you're looking for some property that is, like I said, gives you a little more acreage, this would be the property for you.
So that's going to wrap up our video today. Everything that we looked at in Frankfort, what would interest you? Are you interested maybe in golfing or a place to canoe? Maybe you've never canoed and you'd like to learn how. You know, what about some of the new shops and things that are coming in? Be sure to leave us a comment below and let us know if this is something interesting to you and you'd like more information about properties that have land with them. Maybe you want to get out of your neighborhood, you want to move out into the country, or you just want an acre and a half to kind of stretch out. Be sure to reach out to us and let us know. Leave us a comment below on what you thought about today's video. And until next time, I hope to see you around town.